welcome back to today's episode of Book Snoopers. Today we're going to read chapter 8, but before we get started, let's talk about what happened in chapter 7. Well, something crazy happened. Stone Fox found little Willie in his barn looking at the dogs, the Samoyeds, and he punched him. Now, was that very nice of Stone Fox to do? No! So, what else did we find out? Oh yeah, little Willie said, "I didn't mean any harm, Mr. Stone Fox. I'm going to win the race against you tomorrow. I know you want to win, but I want to win too. I got to win. If I don't, they're going to take our farm. They have the right. Grandfather says that those that want to bad enough will, so I will. I'll win. I'm going to beat you." And then he said, "I'm sorry, we can't both win." Chapter 8, The Day. Chapter 8, The Day. The day of the race arrived. Little Willie got up early. He couldn't see out of his eye. It was swollen shut. As he fed Grandfather his oatmeal, he tried to hide his eye with his hand or by turning away. But he was sure Grandfather saw it. Just the same. After adding more wood to the fire, little Willie kissed Grandfather, hitched up Searchlight, and started off for town. At the edge of their property, he stopped the sled for a moment and looked back at the farmhouse. The roof was covered with freshly fallen snow. A trail of smoke escaped from the stone chimney. The jagged peaks of the Teton Mountains shot up in the background toward the clear blue sky overhead. Yes, sir, he remembered Grandfather saying, "There are some things in this world worth dying for." Boy, I bet that was pretty. Little Willie loved this country. He loved to hike and fish and camp out by the lake. But he did not like to hunt. He loved animals too much to be a hunter. He had killed a bird once with a slingshot, but that had been when he was only 6 years old, and that had been enough. In fact, to this day, he still remembered the spot where the poor thing was buried. Lost in his thoughts, little Willie got to town before he knew it. As he turned on a main street, he brought the sled to an abrupt halt. Skirt! He couldn't believe what he saw. Main Street was jammed with people, lined up on both sides of the street. There were people on rooftops, people hanging out of the window. Little Willie hadn't expected such a big turnout. They must have all come to see Stone Fox. Searchlight pulled the sled down Main Street past the crowd. Little Willie saw Miss Williams, his teacher, and Mr. Foster from the bank, Hank from the post office, and there was Doc Smith and Mayor Smiley and Dusty the Drunk. The city slickers were there, and even Clifford Snyder, the tax man, was there. Everybody. Lester came out of the crowd and walked alongside Little Willie for a while. It was just one of the few times Little Willie had ever seen Lester without his white apron. "You can do it, Willie. You can beat him," Lester kept saying over and over again. I bet that made Little Willie feel good. Little Willie had a race for the They had a race for the youngsters first, and the crowd cheered and rooted for their favorites. It was just a short race, just down to the end of Main Street and back. Little Willie didn't see who won. It didn't matter. And then it was time. Dun dun dun. Finish the chapter by yourself. Find some more fun to read it. Bye.